Very soon. Why you say I did nothing for you, and if I do anything you want me to do, maybe another time, maybe another life, you will be my wife and we'll get.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to another amazing edition of the Unscripted Conversations. It is always going to be fun, and we are going to share our opinions, okay? So, today we have
Michelle,
Akrofi.
and I'm Judith. I'm going to be chairing this session. So, this would not be possible without our able producer, Edith. We love you so much. And she's assisted today by Esperanza. She's an intern. Despacito. So, guys, we're not going to talk much. We're going to delve right into our conversation for today. This is going to be a topic that, I love this topic because I think we both have experiences. However, let me just ask you, this is it. Living abroad is better than living in Ghana. Facts or illusions? We're going to delve into it. So, Michelle, I'm going to start with you, girl. What do you think about living in Ghana and living abroad? Do you think it's better?
it depends on where you're coming from, because if you are a DB in Ghana, I don't think you would say living abroad is better. You might say it's on the same level. For you, living in Ghana would be similar to living in abroad. But then if you are a Jabba and Tiba like me,
or DB with hard labor?
What is Antiba?
Antiba,
no, those who are Antiba,
and then we have Daba. That is another DB, but it's not that is
Antiba is
DB.
what?
Antiba, a reform ban. Street children. Yeah, if you are from a home like that, maybe you would say that living abroad is better. So it all boils down to where you're coming from.
But for you, Michelle, what do you think?
Fact or illusion? A fusion.
Nah. Okay, we'll come back to you. You need to give us what you think for sure. What about you, Harold? Facts or illusion?
No, I think it's facts. I think it's straight facts because I think that regardless of how you look at it, even if you are a DB, I think that there are lots more opportunities outside, most especially in the land of the free, right, which is the United States. I think that there are so many opportunities that you are going to get here that you're not going to get in Ghana.
Okay.
I think that the advantage, right, maybe one of the advantages would be you get to see your family a lot if you come from Africa and all that, and then you are more familiar with the terrain and the things that go on there. But in general, if you are someone who wants to advance your life or get opportunities, and if you are a dreamer in essence, I think that life outside is most often 98% times better.
Okay, yeah. I'll come back to you, but before that, let me ask Tetete.
the average Ghanaian
the average Ghanaian boy.
Oh, talking from the average perspective.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, but I think I agree with Michelle. It's a fusion. So let me explain it this way. So everything we do has its benefits and then disadvantages, right? If you come from Africa or you stay in Ghana, yes, you might not have the opportunities that Howard is talking about, but then you have that communal feeling. You have some peace of mind. Your mental health is fine. I didn't know what mental health.
Not always, but continue.
Yeah.
There are people who have committed suicide in Africa with mental support.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, but then you can't rate the level of suicide in Ghana or from the African space to the level of suicide here. But then let me just arrive, and then the opportunities are not there from the African perspective or from the Ghanaian perspective. But then if you come abroad, it's more individualistic. Achieve your dreams, achieve your goal, but then to what end? So you have to find the balance in between. I'm just saying this because I'm talking from someone who has lived in two worlds. But then if you've not lived in both worlds, you can definitely say living abroad is better, or you can say living in Ghana is better. But then finding the balance is very, very key. And because I have that perspective, that's why I'm saying it's a fusion. Because I'm able to balance both worlds. But if you've not had the opportunity to balance both worlds, and then you're coming from Ghana, you definitely say maybe living abroad is better. But then once you come abroad, there's the reality that also hits you. But then because we have perspective, you're able to balance the two, and that's what I think.
Okay, so you're more like agreeing with Michelle.
Yes,
on
I
that tangent.
think there is a fusion. I can't
Okay.
say living abroad is good. It gives you more opportunities, but then the fact that I'm able to take advantage of those opportunities is because of how I grew up in Ghana and how my worldview and how it has shaped me. Because, for instance, I'm living that individualistic mindset. Oh, achieve this goal, achieve this. But then I know that there's a family somewhere. Even if I want to talk to somebody, there's this person that I can fall on.
Yeah.
I'll not be in my room and die, and then 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later, the police is coming to find me.
Well, are you saying
never
that
know.
Ghanaians don't experience that, or Africans who travel outside don't experience being secluded and then unfortunately passing away? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that is possible, but from my perspective, that would never happen to me, because if
So you're
somebody...
speaking about yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the average Ghanaian.
No, I'm not talking
I
for the
know.
average Ghanaian. No, I'm talking for me.
I just wanted to
I'm
know
talking
his
for me.
opinion.
Yeah, because even if like, for instance, in maybe in 24 hours or in 72 hours, definitely somebody is going to say, where's AB? I haven't heard from him, and that alone is good for me, because no, it's okay.
No, I think that is also, well, I'm just gonna come back. So what I want us to do is I want us to just break it down a little bit,
Okay.
because we're talking about the more broader lifestyle in Ghana and then in abroad as well.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it like in chunks. Let's talk about financially, like when it comes to the academic world,
Okay.
and then let's talk about like lifestyle itself. So
Okay.
financially, do you think that your financial situations, or do you think financial situations back home in Ghana is better than in America or in abroad or otherwise? What do you think?
I think without a doubt, financial situation outside the country is much better. I mean, let's look at even the wages that people earn in Ghana compared to doing equivalent kind of work in outside the country. Like, for instance, in the US, there is a vast disparity. Like, you can't even juxtapose the two, right? So even that also translates onto your level of living, or your standard of living is the word I'm looking for. So if you are able to do certain things much easier, right? If you are able to more easily purchase groceries, if you are more easily able to pay your rent, even when you are doing a work that in Ghana will be seen as non-consequential.
Yeah.
An example is people, these very great people who pick our garbage for us, right? Who dispose of garbage for us. If you are in Ghana, these people are paid very paltry sums, right? They are basically the poorest of the poor.
Yeah.
But if you are here, you can make a decent living. You can save up money, take your kids to college and all that. So I think that without a doubt, finances are better outside of Ghana, specifically in Europe and in America, than
In Asia.
than in Ghana. Yeah, in Asia
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's also really good in Asia.
What do you think about that, Abraham?
Yeah, I think I'll buttress his point, because I believe it's the systems that are working, right? So in Denmark, I quite remember there's this guy, he was a butcher, and he was even working for the owner of like the, what do you call it? The slaughterhouse, right? And the guy had like some Ford 4x4 car, and he had bought a house. And I was like, in Ghana, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
So I believe it's like the systems and the way like the system is structured. And if you put in the effort, you are going to reap your effort. And I think that's it. So I agree with his assertion. Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
So,
Michelle?
I'm also going to add up to the whole system thing. And an example is so I'm going to take my point from the currency, like
Okay.
the strength of the Ghanaian currency.
Okay.
And I remember when the dollar rate increased, and or like the CD increased, that was having like a very good level with the dollar, and they were supposed to, let's say our mothers and fathers in Ghana were supposed to also decrease the price, or let's say reduce the price of their product. They wouldn't do it. So in that sense, even if the system is going to help make our finances okay in Ghana, we are going to sabotage ourselves. So forever and ever, it's still going to look like finances or financial level in Ghana is not going to work, because when the dollar rates went down and the city like rose up a bit, and then we're asked, reduce fares, reduce this, they wouldn't do it. So even if the system is working, even if the city is going to get better for finances to be stable, like be financial, whatever in Ghana should be okay for the youth, we are still going to sabotage ourselves. It's
Okay.
not going to work. So
Okay.
again, the system matters, but I feel like it all boils down to us, the
Yeah.
individuals in the country, because I was so heartbroken when they were like, reduce fares, reduce prices of this, no,
Yeah.
they wouldn't do it. So
Yeah.
even if the system is working,
No,
finance.
the system can work. It depends. Okay.
That's what I said. Even
Yeah,
if
you
it, I'm
say
saying
it
even
depends.
if the system is working, the people in the system, I don't know.
We're our own demons.
Yes, we
like,
are sabotaging ourselves.
I get your point, but I also I also always feel a bit, I don't know how to put this, but I never like it when people blame individuals rather than the system, rather than the leaders, right? And the reason I say this is this is something that happens a lot with Africans,
Yeah.
where we are always like, yeah, it's the people themselves, and I get that point, I get where it's coming from, but we need there's a reason why they are leaders, and there's a reason why when there are certain structures, it helps people to live a certain way. When we look at basic like things like when you take the average Ghanaian living in Ghana and you look at his lifestyle, the way he does things, and you take the average Ghanaian living, let's say in the US, and he does things totally different, and it's because of the system, right? And so if you say that, oh, maybe nobody wants to reduce their prices, why is there not a system
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
gives a baseline and
Yeah.
says that nobody
Yeah.
is allowed to raise their
And
prices above
I
this?
think even
Why is
if
there no
they
rent
do, because that's
control?
what I think. I don't know whether I don't know whether that's what led to the whole Rollins thing that happened years ago when he stormed marketplaces to find out if have you reduced your prices. If not, you are going to. So I think even if that's what I said. Even if the system is going to work, the Ghanaian youth or the people we've come to that point that, you know what, it's each one for himself, God for us all. So even if the system, even if I don't buy few, I'm so convinced that even if they bring up, if you exceed, you put, let's say, charge this bottle of water for 2 cedis. Even if they release a warning that if you charge it for 3 Ghana cedis or 2 cedis, then we will arrest you. People will still sell it for 4 cedis.
And that is why he's saying the systems. Well,
so it's still
Exactly.
the people.
No,
Because
so-
the system, they are trying
So
their best.
I think what, well, I'm sorry, just a second. But what I think is one of the problems that we have as a country is holding people accountable. Like we have the rules, we have the laws, we have all these things, but people still break the laws and they feel so comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
So I think our main problem is to holding people accountable to their actions.
Yes.
Like I lived in South Korea and I love South Korea so much, and I can tell you that if you're a sitting president, you can actually be indicted for corruption. You will be ousted, you will be trialed, and you will be jailed if you're found culpable of these actions.
Yeah.
I never see that happen in Africa or even in Ghana. And that brings me to like, if you get me on my soapbox right now, it's gonna be a lot. So I think I have another topic I like breathing in my mind that I'm gonna talk with the producer about. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But like what Michelle was saying is, she doesn't think people are responsible.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the attitude itself towards our laws and towards even the basic system that is there is not something that is like, it's encouraging, right? But if you have a system that works, right, that is why the system has to work. So if, as you were saying, if these people are being punished for their crimes, look at the number of politicians that people are aware have spent so much of the nation's money, and nobody's holding them accountable. Let's take the instance of Mapat, right? Agada, right? Who was jailed.
Yeah.
And there were a lot
Still
of
jailed.
who is still in jail, right? There were. I mean, I don't want to go into whether I think she is right or she's wrong, but whatever be the case, the law found her to be wrong. And there were so many people who were like, is she really going to jail?
Yeah.
Is she really in jail? They were surprised that the law is working,
Yeah.
right? So I think that if we make a system such that the law itself works,
Yeah.
then that is where we are going to be able to reap the benefits, right? And not
Yeah.
always blame the individuals, because we as individuals are under a system.
Okay.
If the system works, we are going to be able to live a better life.
Yeah. Okay, I think I should have asked this question in the beginning, but I mean, better late than
Assistant
never.
producer
Assistant producer, I have something to say.
I agree with Harold for the fact that we live in Ghana.
Amplify your voice a bit for us.
We live in a community in Ghana where people want to reap the profits from what they sow. Now, if I went to, I don't know, Togo and then bought clothes for 5 cedis per dress, when I come back and then the government is saying reduce the prices, how am I getting my profits back? And then we have a system that if the dollar is 10 cedis today, the next 2 seconds it is going to 15 cedis. You cannot trust that the money is going to stay the same. See, if the money was consistent enough for me, for me to get my money back, then I agree. Immediately the government says to reduce it, I will go ahead and then do that, because I know that they are putting measures in place for me to get my money back. But like, you are not doing that. You pump money into the system, and then 2 seconds later the dollar is at 10 cedis, right? Okay, then I've reduced my prices. Another time it's at 15 cedis. I have lost so much because according to you, I should go with the flow. I should say exactly what you're telling me to do. I can't do that.
Yeah, I feel you.
In the end, if I'm broke and I'm on the street, no government will come to my aid. So then, to each his own.
I see. Well, that was very emotional. Like, she's very passionate about this. I can see that. But before we go on, I think we should first and foremost define what good living is to us, because I think that is a very, very good tangent to so what is good living to you?
Good living. Life where you're able to afford your basic necessities, food, clothing, shelter. Once you have those things, the other things will follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, I'm gonna come back to you, but Michelle, what do you think is good living?
So good living to me is what AB said, but being able to take off an additional person. Like, I can provide for myself everything and another person.
Like one person?
Another person.
Okay.
So as long as I can do that, that is good living. That means for me and
you,
Kasan, I'm fine.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay.
So if it can extend to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good
What
living
about you,
to me.
Harold? What is good living?
Yeah, for me, good living basically it's similar to Maslow's theory of needs, right? So I want to have peace of mind where my psychological needs are met. I want to have food security and all that, right? And have a phase where I'm able to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I want to have the ability to dream, and that is what personally I think holds Africa back. We don't have the peace of mind to dream. You get up at 5 a.m. You are going to the farm. How can you become Einstein, right? So I personally believe that our Einsteins and our Newtons, they were there in the farm. That's what I personally believe. So I think aside from the psychological, the physical in terms of food, having a roof over my head and all that, I also want to have the peace of mind to be able to dream. That's also very important to me.
I see. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think your life is now? How would you rate your good living now, just opposing it to when you were back in Ghana?
So if I'm to compare the two, I would say in Ghana it was a 6.
Okay.
No, a 5.5. Okay. Right.
Make it a 5.
And right now, I would say that it is 7.5.
Okay.
Only because I am not which is not because of the system, but because of where I personally am and what I want to do and where I am. So, but if I were at a different phase, or if I'm getting closer to achieving certain things, that rating will increase.
Yes. Okay.
So I definitely think I'm in a better place now.
Okay. Okay. So I want us to talk about some protective factors as well. So the thing is, I know that, well, at least for me, I know I'm very resilient, and I kind of attribute that to my upbringing back home in Ghana. So having all these, things that are working against us back in Ghana, what are some protective factors that made you or protected you or helped you when you were back in Ghana? Do you guys understand? So I think what helped me was my resilience. I was no, I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna do this. I get some pushback. I'm no, I'm gonna do it. But what are some protective factors that also helped you all? Because like you said, the ability to dream. We don't even quantify that. We don't even give that much, exposure as we're supposed to. But when you have peace of mind, you're able to daydream and then try to think about the things that you would want your future to look like and everything. Yeah. But now I can see that, okay, I can see where you're coming from. And then I was just thinking about my life back when I was in Ghana. So I'm thinking, and I just want to ask you all, what were some protective measures or protective factors that helped you all? And do you even think that it was even helpful for you to go through all of that?
So I think personally that for instance, I'll piggyback on the point you raised about resilience. I think that it is something. So I don't have any necessarily scientific or research data to back what I'm about to say, right? But I think that from what we have experienced after traveling, we have noticed that normally, like, Africans are more mentally tough when it comes to situations than our counterparts who are born and raised here. And I think that comes from our upbringing. So I think that the tough upbringing that we had, and also that sense of community that we had, that you know that no matter what happens, my mother is there, my mother is going to support me. No matter what happens, even if my parents are not there, I can call this auntie, I can call this uncle, right? And I think that all that together with that bit of toughness in there enabled us have that mental kind of, strength, fortitude. And that, I think, it's an important thing, regardless of where you are in the world, right? So that when, like, the tough things of life come, you are able to withstand it. So the thing that I would attribute that to is really mainly the sense of community. I think that the hardships also played a role. But I'll say the sense of community also was a big factor in that.
What about you, Abraham?
Yeah, for me, I always tell my friends that I'm in survival mode. But the hardships, it plays a fundamental role, because once you're able to even have the opportunity to move from Ghana to come abroad, like, that is like the biggest step you will ever take. And that step alone shows how strong you are. And you being able to balance two worlds alone is like a big feat that we sometimes take for granted, because sometimes we are hard on ourselves because we try to compare the way we are living to people who grew up here, but then trust me, maybe they couldn't even walk a mile in your shoes. And I believe we coming from Ghana or coming from Africa, we come with that resilience that we are talking about. Is we've given it an English term, resilience, but it's our way of life. And that's how I see it, because I quite remember one day we're having, I do social work, and we're having like a topic and we're discussing resilience, and all the examples that the lecturer was giving, he was telling it as resilience, and we couldn't relate. I quite remember my friend from Uganda was like, he gave an example and he was trying to explain to them, and then nobody was understanding him. But then I was just sitting, I was shaking my head, because nobody could relate to what they were saying, because it was our way of life every day. Everyday way of life. So I believe, like, all those circumstances, those trials, those tribulations, all those things that we went through, like growing up in Ghana, it plays a major factor when we come here, so that when we go through certain things here, it's like a piece of cake, because, like, you've seen worse, and, like, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? But then I'm in survival mode, but then once I make it, that's when I'm
Okay, so we're still in survival mode. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and send your comments. We love hearing from you. Help us grow, because we want to grow, and we know we cannot do it without you, okay? Now back to you, Michelle. Any protective factors before I move on to my next line of questions?
So I think it's the same as what my brother said, like
your brothers? Okay.
Producer.
Okay. So that was producer. Yeah, I was like, producer. Your brothers?
In the Lord.
Yeah. Brothers in Christ for no. We see you.
This is all part of the hardship we face. So it's, I think it's the same as they said, because when you ask the question, the first thing I was thinking about was the struggles I went through. Because I really remember back in Ghana, like 2023, I was working before coming. I got here in 2024. I was working January to May 2024, and I was taking 300 Ghana cedis a month. That is per month. That is someone's hourly pay here. Yes. Yeah. I was taking 300 Ghana cedis a month, and all that, it's kind of fired me up or gingered me to really get out of it. I really wanted to get, because I wanted to get to the space where my sisters can call me, my mother can rely on me, because I felt I was being so much of a burden. Not a burden per se, but I felt like I was always taking so much from my siblings because I wasn't working. I got a job, I was getting $300 300 Ghana cedis a month, and at the end of that month, like with transportation and feeding. It's even more than that. So I think the hardship we went through, and also the sense, because like, regardless of everything I was going through, I could always fall back on my parents. I could take my father's phone and take MTN quick loan without him knowing. Although maybe
so you're stealing from your father.
Please, Mr.
So yeah, it's the hardship, the trials and the struggles we went through, and also that community, like that confidence, that sense of there is someone I can talk to, there is someone I can fall back on, there is someone I can just get to if I need anything. I think it played a very vital role.
That's really true. And it's so crazy that when you're going through those things, it becomes so normal for you. Like when I travel, like when I see people complaining about things that I'm like, is that really a problem?
Exactly.
Like really? Yeah, that's really cool. All right, so
crazy.
since we're all students, I want us to just go back to education. People ask questions, and at least somebody has asked me that, is like education like easier or better in America than it is in Ghana? And I want y'all to think about it, because obi fan in sabin kumun chere na eja fie. Someone says it.
No.
So tell me what you guys think. You guys have tasted, the best of both worlds. So let's see.
I think education here in America, it's better than education in Ghana, like hands down. That is me.
Okay.
President Mahama, I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. No, I just want everybody to say before we go into like the nitty gritties of everything.
Yeah,
so she says here is better. What do you think?
So I this is my point of view. So I'm limited in the sense that I've never attended basic school here. So I know how the tertiary the tertiary institutions work, right?
Yeah.
So my point of view at the moment is that if you take a very good basic Ghanaian school, it is better than the good American basic schools. I've never attended those schools, but that's my point of view. And the reason why I say that is that I've heard lots of stories and lots of personal, of people who were like my mates in, let's say, secondary school or basic school, and then they are average students or even below average. They suddenly travel to the US, and we are talking to them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm the best in my class." And I'm like, you? So it's like. And also I think that
I have a lot to say about that. I have a lot.
When we are studying,
producer has something to say too.
Okay, after Harold, Madam Producer. I almost said Mr. Producer.
I'll listen to your views before
Okay.
I think that when we are studying also in Ghana, for example, like when I was in class 3, there was this like mental, right, where you have to, I don't know if they do something similar. You have to know these things off head, like. Shout out to Mr. Rare who taught me class 3. And you stretch out your palm. If you know it, you get to sit down. If you don't, he lashes you, right? And it helped us build our calculation and being able to think on your feet and all that.
I'm coming. I really love the fact that we are different people, because I don't know, but for me, I was kind of traumatized during my basic school.
glorifying hardship?
I am not glorifying.
I'm talking about Harold.
I think that certain hardships are good.
I'm coming. Wait,
no, I'm with you on that, because
I was a bit traumatized because the way they made it look like, again, I would support Harold when it comes to the basic education.
No,
I've never been.
No, I don't support. Okay, I'll let you land.
What is 5 times 5?
25.
I'm sorry. Hello, this is mental.
But there's no.
No, they brought canes. They would bring the cane. You would just be in the class and then 2 plus 2.
It keeps you sharp.
No.
Wait.
I don't want that sharpness.
Wait.
I do not want that sharpness.
Wait.
I was intimidated. I don't remember with my school. It's heightened intimidation, and then you would feel like there are people better. It really heightened. But one thing that will make me also say that American is because they really don't glorify that thing. This is better than this person. We were all trying, and coming here, it has really pushed me to really do better, because in Ghana,
really?
do some. Yes.
For me, one of the things that was really motivational for me was that I want to be the best in my class, right? And so when they put out the results and they're like, oh, this person was first, I'm like, oh no, I want to be first. And so it encourages me to study harder.
Why would you want to see
right?
someone
So
else's grade before you want to strive to be first or be better in your
it
class?
is motivation. It's healthy competition.
No, it's unhealthy. No, it's unhealthy.
Wait.
It's unhealthy.
Okay, wait. We'll come back to that.
But
for
let me land.
Okay.
Because I didn't finish my point, right? So what I'm trying to say is that my point of view currently is that at the basic level and elementary, high school, and all that, I think that when you take the best Ghanaian school, it's better than the best American school. But when you come to the college, without a doubt, the American system is better.
Okay.
They have better facilities. They have like better systems. You know, they have. I don't want to say better teachers because I think we also have very good teachers.
We do.
But the aids that that will help you exactly to teach much better in America.
Like, this is something that I'm really passionate about as well because of my field. Well, I'm in the field of school psychology, so like I see it all the time. You know, Harold said like he thinks that when it comes to the basic education, Ghana, it's better, and then when it comes to university, it's like I really do not agree with that. It's what she said, I think when it comes to education, let me tell you, I think when it comes to education, okay, from Head Start, here they call it like Head Start, it's like in Kolankatan Kitino, to the university level, I'm telling you, we are no match. And it hurts me to say this.
Agree.
Let me tell you, I went to a basic school. I think it was a second grade class. And you know what? Even from that small age, they are teaching the kids to form their own opinions. The teacher actually gave each and every child Oreos. And I think it was lime Oreos or whatever. They ate the Oreos and she told them to write what they thought about the Oreos. So what do you think about these Oreos that you ate? Do you like it? Is it too sour? Is it too sweet? This is how they are teaching them to be opinionated right from an early age. It's not a matter of like chewing and pouring. And Harold also said like somebody might be at the bottom of the class in Ghana and then when they come to America, they're going to be like, hi. Let me tell you one thing that I've noticed like since I've been here. There are support systems. I'm telling you, it is not like a one-size-fits-all approach. There are children that are pulled out of classrooms that are given intensive education. So the children in Ghana, and it's not like the system is like, the whole thing is when they come here, it's not like the education system in Ghana is higher, and then the one here is like less. The kids here are not really down. No. They are doing better because they have the support. We do not have the support. When it comes to education in Ghana, it is you, yourself, and your God. There are no supports, okay? Children have developmental delays. We don't talk about it enough. Children are autistic. There is no support for them. Over here, they have general education classes. Children are in the classrooms with their peers, and they are pulled out to have one-on-one instructions.
You mean extra classes like in Ghana?
Not extra classes. They are doing it in the
That's what we are talking about.
No, it's different.
Producer has money.
No, wait, it's not extra classes. It's extra classes like when school is over, then you go for your extra classes. This is during the time, between the 7 to 2 that they're in school, they're getting these services. So I'm telling you, Harold, when it comes to the education system, it breaks my heart to say this, but I'm going to use my left hand to point to the case of Ghana. It is whack.
So
and it is whack because the politicians are not helping us.
I am not the host,
wait.
Oh, I'm hot.
Producer wants to say something. Let's listen to producer.
Okay, producer.
I went to a government school. So I'm
Saitorian.
the average Ghanaian.
The average Ghanaian.
The average Ghanaian student. Why would you go to it?
Why would you go to Australia? Why would you go to
The producers are fighting. The producers are fighting.
Why would you go to
government
You
school?
know a government school.
Why
Yes,
you-
it's a
why
government
you
school.
discriminatory?
You know where you come from. You want good education, you go private.
So what about the child who cannot afford a private school?
No.
What about the kids who can?
serious?
We are going back to
You
the
see?
system
Are you
again.
serious?
What about the family who cannot
Did you seriously say that?
what do we say? Get
Did you
access
seriously
to
say that?
private schools.
Even in the US, the
That support-
basic
that
schools,
means-
the public schools are substandard when compared to the private basic schools.
But when you compare that,
Let her
When you
finish her
compare
point.
like the government schools in Ghana, yeah.
Ghana's private schools,
Oh, don't
it
even
was still
try it.
exceeded.
So finish
You
your
cannot say that.
No, it will exceed it.
cannot say that.
It will exceed
There's
it.
no iota
It
of
will.
truth about what you are saying.
No.
I cannot finish it.
Let her finish her point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
government school.
I'm
And
hot.
then, even aside the normal studies or whatever the teachers used to teach us, you're talking about extra classes.
Yes.
We had extra classes, we had authentic classes.
Authentic.
Yeah, authentic
So the ones you were going for the class, what was that one? Like the ordinary ones.
Right? And I know for sure that the motive of those classes was because they wanted to take our money. Because it was the money, not because they wanted us to teach us to pass our BEC. But you said something about the basic education system being as compared to Ghana. Ghana's one is good at the US or something. I don't know much about the US. I'm talking about from Europe because I used to teach in France. In France, okay, let me just say this: life is chilled abroad. Me, I prefer life abroad to Ghana. We have our families back home. We have the Ghanaian food, those things, the music, the vibes. That is what makes us happy here. But aside that, what else? Nothing. So life is so chilled. Like in Ghana, life is like giddy. Everything is so harsh. Everything is so, I don't know how to say, but it is too much.
So have you also
Epi
lived
hasn't
in a
spoken,
society,
though. Were you
like, let's
homeschooled?
say, somewhere like New York, right, where life is very fast paced, right? Like everybody's mindset is productivity, making money, and all that. So I think you cannot, for certain, say that I can actually buttress you and say that there are certain parts of the Ghanaian culture which are much more relaxed than when you come to certain parts of America.
I'm talking about education. I'm talking about education, the education system. I'm talking about basics.
Okay.
So when you go, Michelle was talking about rhymes, mentals, and everything. So I'm just relating it. Like I'm doing a comparison to Europe because I don't know much about the American system.
Yeah.
So when you go to class, whatever they are teaching, mathematics, 1 + 1. They are doing illustrations, so we are not just teaching it because it is 1 + 1, and then they will ask you what is 1 + 1, what is 2 + 1, what is 2 times. Chew and pour. It is through music sometimes. It's just through drawings. It's just true. They have things they are providing. I'm not saying we don't have some in Ghana. We have those for privileged students, for students who are rich. But for the average Ghanaian child that attends a government school, the person do not have that access to that. You get it?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say that the Ghanaian. No, I feel attacked. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I know. I mean, we're just having a conversation. But so I think that I get what you're saying, right? And I don't. So that's why I gave the premise that I don't actually know much about basic education outside of Ghana, right? However, I think that there is a certain element. So when I take like what you said, right, because you have experience with the European education. So when I look at what you've said and I compare it to the situation where we have had, I think that definitely we can do better. That is like without a doubt. But I still think that there are certain elements of the Ghanaian education that are good. And I personally am in favor of that system where there is this kind of healthy competition where they put this and you strive to be like better, because I think that it puts us better.
Wait,
I don't really.
Hey,
my people.
Can I ask a question? So here in UK, we do not post results. We don't have who was first, who was second, who was third. Are you not still working? Are you not still
excelling academically?
I think that the reason is because I have certain kinds of things that I want to achieve, and I have grown with a certain mindset that keeps on pushing me. I'm not trying to say that I think that those things make you better is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I don't think that.
I think
One of my colleagues.
Wait,
The students wanted a first class. When you're first class, no,
hold
they had issues in their home because
Hold
they
it.
wanted him or her to get a first class.
Hey, God.
I remember.
Wait, producer, wait. I think this conversation deserves a part 2.
Yeah.
Like, we need to have an actual conversation because, like, the emotions that I'm feeling in this room right now, it's not easy. And anyway, that was our producer. She was like so heated. Edith, thank you so much for your opinions. I think we need to have another conversation talking about the education system. Like, we have to. In fact, I insist. Okay, we need to do that. Okay, this is the Unscripted show, the Unscripted conversation. It is unscripted. We like to hear from our viewers, our listeners, our producers, and of course the amazing panel that we have here. Please drop your conversation.
Assistant producer.
Esperanza.
Yeah, Mpamoana.
We'll fire you, okay? Please drop your comments. Like, subscribe, and then hit the bell notification so that you will be reminded and you'll be notified whenever we drop another episode, okay? So, we're going to wrap it up now. In a nutshell, what do you think about living abroad versus living in Ghana? And I'm going to say the topic again. Living abroad is better than living in Ghana. Is that a fact or an illusion? And I'm going to take your final comments and then we're going to wrap up, okay? So, Harold, no, I started with you, so I'm going to start with Abraham. Abraham
didn't say anything about the education.
Yeah, she put today. No, don't worry,
Fatu,
Abraham.
Fatu.
Hold your thoughts. We're going to come back to this. Like, we're going to have another conversation
I
about
was old
this.
school.
Abraham was homeschooled.
Everyone was just quiet.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
I was listening.
Okay, producer will come back,
We'll
right?
come back to this
Yes.
topic.
And,
Yeah, we
more-
need to talk
only
about this
more
topic
beef
for
on-
sure.
Because we need
Because
more
private
side
school-
opinions.
Because private school.
So, Abraham.
Yeah. For me, like I'll adapt Michelle's terms. So it's a fusion. So I just think.
So you still haven't changed your mind?
No, I
after this?
haven't. No, I haven't changed
Okay.
my mind. I still stick with it
Okay.
because it's staying in Ghana that has informed how I'm living in abroad now, and I'm still balancing the two together. Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, what about you?
So first of all, I really appreciate the fact that you tried to dissect the thing. Like living abroad, you talked about education, you talked about this, you talked about that, because again it was very broad, and I love the fact that we are taking it one step at a time, and now we're talking about, because living in abroad has a whole lot of dimensions. So producer, please bring the part 2, because we have other aspects of it.
We need
and
it.
then again, I stick to what I said before. It's a fusion. It's a fact, and it's also an illusion. It's a fact because the system, to an extent, is not working. It's an illusion because it's an illusion.
Okay. What about you, Harold?
I think it's without a doubt a fact. Yeah, and I think that, because I mean, if you take a look, I think that the only place where you are not going to get any disadvantage is when we are with your Lord Jesus Christ. That's the only place that you are going to get advantages with no disadvantage, right? And even that one, you have to be with him in heaven, right? So that's when we are in heaven.
Yeah.
Aside that, I think that everything has its positive and negatives.
Yeah.
And I think that if you take a general look at everything,
Yeah.
definitely it is more advantageous
Yeah.
to be in the US or in Europe than in Ghana. And I'm praying and hoping, because I am really a lover of Africa, so I'm hoping that we can get to the stage where we don't need to go outside of our continent to get a better life.
Thank
So
you.
you take.
Oh, no, you go. You
Now,
go. You go.
that the way he's saying, would you take your kids to Ghana to study? Like,
It's possible.
hey,
It's possible that I will take them for like basic
To
education.
find the balance.
Yes. I'm still thinking on that.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you so much. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. This has been the Unscripted Conversations, where we share our opinions. And you know that we have some opinionated people here, very, very passionate people. Join us on average Ghanaian, youth. Okay, so join us on the next episode. My name is Judith, and I have been joined by... Oh, average Tete and
Buff Standard Michelle.
Radu. And then Akrofi, Americano Akrofi. All right, so we're going to see you on the next episode. Please subscribe, like, drop your comments, and also big ups to our able producer, Edith. And also Esperanza, who is the assistant producer for today.
Who will be sacked after.
She needs a lot of training. So happy New Year, guys! We cannot wait for what is to come. Bye bye.
Why you say I did nothing for you, man? If I do anything you want me to do, maybe another time, maybe another